Hello, hello, beautiful Lovetarians all over the world. This is Natalia PH, Cecile, and Andrew Paul Smith, our wonderful guest in this fourth episode of the Lovetarian Way broadcast. We are gathering here today on a beautiful new moon, where, if some of you are aware, we can actually rebirth and we can align with cosmic energies, set new intentions, and truly envision a new beginning for ourselves. And I think it's amazing for us to have such a guest today who, we can say he specializes in light. He is inspirational coach that focuses on love and light, and he truly embodies his teaching. I've known Andrew, how long have we known each other? 8 years now?
Yeah, at least 8-9 years.
Exactly, something like that. And this is one of the people that are the most genuine, heart-based individuals that I have met in my life. He is just pure beauty and pure love, and inspiration comes from just the most beautiful place that the human being can possess. So I wanted to have him on this broadcast because he is just so pure. So pure and beautiful, and he can, with his purity and with his heart, he can of course inspire, because what we actually focus in the Lovetarian Way, we tell you to be the person that you are meant to be and love unconditionally. That is your true nature. That is the nature of our creator, our creatrix, God, whatever name you subscribe to, the universe. It's this unconditional love. And if you can embody that feeling, you will not even need to tell anybody what to do, because the light will radiate from you so beautifully and so strongly that people will be inspired. Isn't that so, Andrew?
Yeah, I believe that we all have that within us. We have the ability to shine, and I love to see people come to me with their lights dimmed down or even turned off, but when they leave, they're beaming. I don't feel that it's me that did that. I think that they say, "Oh, thank you, Andrew. You did such a marvelous job." No, I did nothing. I'm just a face at the end of an internet conversation here, and you have done all the work yourself. You've worked on yourself, and you've created this. And there is great light inside every person, and it needs to shine. We used to sing a little song in Sunday school. I put it into my bio that I was brought up in the Methodist Church. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, are you gonna let it shine or not?
Cecile, can you say, actually, because people might not know you, Cecile, could you introduce our guest a little bit? We're assuming, we all from the same family, light family group, everybody knows everybody. Maybe we need to do a little introduction of our guest.
Yes, well, our lovely guest, Andrew Paul Smith, was inspired by a lot of role models in his life. Of course, his beautiful family, for example, John Lennon, Martin Luther King. And he was inspired by the love and the light they all shared. And from that love and light, of course, social media came, and he had the idea to share that love online. Of course, also in his job, he worked with a lot of people sharing his love and light. And now he has this amazing big Facebook group that is already running over a decade called Be Inspired. And there he's sharing actually his love, revolution. Wrote as well a beautiful book.
Yes, we love sharing, by the way. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. With beautiful poems in there. And of course, Wednesdays, you're doing also live groups where you broadcast and shine your love and light.
So we will be, Andrew, you will be sharing, of course, your poems in our group, in the Lovetarian Way group, and I'm sure we'll get you back here to discuss, because how do you ever get bored talking about love and light? How can you?
I think that it's like when you get on the right track within your life, within anything, when you're in the zone, they call it in the zone. When you're actually being who you're supposed to be, then how can you stop? The only thing that can stop you is if you allow an outside influence to stop you. If you believe that someone else, whether it be parents or someone you look up to, if you allow them and their ways to influence you away from your own calling, I believe each person has their own calling, and that part of the journey is to find out what it is, what is your purpose. And the coaching course starts off with goals, but it ends up with purpose. And once you've found your purpose, then you're away, and okay, things do come in to say, are you really serious about that? Is that really what you're going to do with your life? And you say, yeah, and you're okay. But if you go, oh, I'm not sure, then that's where the problem lies. But other than that, once you get in the zone, you're going to be able to shine your light as brightly as Natalia.
Tell me, Andrew, what is the motivational, or what is that calling that people have? What is the motivational calling for people to come and find you? What do you find it is these days?
What do people do? I think that I try to be everywhere. I've got so many different places on social media where I'm attempting to bring people to this light, not my light, the light.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's is it John Wesley or Martin Luther King said, by all means save some. And I know that we don't believe that the individual needs saving, but in a sense, what people need to do is to have something put in front of them for long enough for them to say, wait a minute, is that the way my life's going? Is that, if it isn't, do I want my life to continue the way that it is, or do I want to change it? I used to be an evangelist. I used to go and knock on people's doors, and we had a very funny experience. I got fed up that my colleague and I, we were out knocking on the doors together. Every door we knocked on, are you a Jehovah's Witness? And I said, I'm fed up with this. I'm going to, before they even ask next time, I'm going to say, and before you ask, we're not Jehovah's Witnesses. And this lady said, but we are.
Yeah.
Because that's why everyone thought that because I was knocking on their door that we were Jehovah's Witnesses, because the lady down the street was a Jehovah's Witness and she did that. But if you've got something that's good, something that's beautiful, something that's worth sharing, how do you do anything but share it? And then people, they come to that light. They don't run to the darkness, they run to the light.
Well, then, a lot of people do run to the darkness, and they're like, then, but then we come with the light, right? And we can illuminate.
Yeah,
well, that's true, right?
But what I was trying to illustrate was when I used to knock on doors, I was trying to be prescriptive. I was trying to tell them how to live their lives. But as a coach, what I do is I find out what they want. And there's no argument then, is there? That you're going to help them as their coach. You're going to help them to get what they want from their life. And that's probably because of the calling that they have. And obviously, as a coach, you've got to decide whether you can take on that goal or say, I need you to go to a colleague. That's not a goal that I'm willing to work with. But as long as it's something that you're willing to work with, then you're actually aiding them in becoming themselves and not something prescribed by a religion or an authority, or you're not teaching them how to be. They know how to be. You're finding out how they want to be and bring their gifting to the world.
Do you find, it's been 12 years more or less now that I have been doing this professionally, you could say, with more courage or less courage, but now it's really on because it takes courage, right, to really shine your light brightly, because we do where the society today is not programmed or created in a way to give permission to everybody to shine, and with our work we give that permission to people, don't we?
I think that's it is, when I first went onto Facebook, I was on MySpace before, but when I first went onto Facebook, my whole intention there was to be some kind of remedy for the Western media, that they will sell newspapers and television shows on how horrible things are, how bad things are, and as a result of that, people feel under a weight of the struggling, that they can't get by. But if you find a place of peace inside you, then whatever the world throws at you, if that peace is strong enough, it will no longer have any long-term effect on you. So I wanted to be the balance. I'm looking behind you again at the fire and the water. I wanted to be the balance between what the Western media was saying and me just coming up there, just little me. I love the fact that I'm A. Smith. Smith is the most popular name in the UK, and I'm just A. Smith. You know, I'm nobody really. I'm everyman. In the bio, it said that I've done 30 different jobs, so I know what life is like out there. I'm grounded. I know that people have got a difficult time just getting on with the day. I understand that, and I think from the area of compassion and a desire to want to almost take on the mantle of the person that I'm coaching, to be able to understand what it's like to be them, that I can really empathize and I can really show a pathway to the light for them. And it's my privilege to have done that now for probably into the hundreds of people. And it's a beautiful gift. You know, you pay me money to do this as well. No, it's a beautiful gift inside my heart when I see someone walk away like that. And they used to be like that, and now they're like that.
Exactly. So Andrew, the spectrum of between us is probably thousands of people that we touched. What was the common denominator for you? You found that what is it that people really want at the end of the day? What is it that they're coming for to you?
Not that I'm the person who can give them the gift of peace, but I do believe that we need peace within more than anything, because once you've got that equilibrium, that balance on the inside, then whatever gets thrown at you. I've read biographies and I've seen people who've had the most difficult beginnings in life that have triumphed, and I believe it's when they found that place of peace inside. And having had a Christian upbringing, it brings to mind the words of Jesus: "My peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives, give I unto you." It's a beautiful, I'm getting shivers now.
Me too.
The peace that passes all understanding. We used to say as a benediction in church: the peace that passes all understanding, may it keep you. And it's that peace. Once you've got that, a songwriter called it a strange peace. It's like it's almost like it shouldn't be that way. The peace shouldn't come to you because it is a troubled world that we live in. That there are all kinds. There's always some major news story going off that everyone's talking about. Somebody said to me, "You don't need to listen or watch the news. If something bad happens, you'll find out." And within 20 minutes of 9/11 happening, somebody came into the office that I was working in at the time and told us what had happened. So you don't need the bad news is going to get to you real easy. You've got to seek out the good news. You've got to seek out the people who can lift you and help you to find that place of peace inside you.
Well, yes, we need to. Our ideal with the Lovetarian way, it is to really embody the unconditional love and be vibrating so high, be so much light that you're literally invisible to darkness, you're literally immune to darkness, you're literally liberated from all the suffering. That is the ideal. That is the divine human, that the heaven on earth that we all strive to co-create. There's a journey to it, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, it is a journey, because if you just go like in Star Trek, you go into the transporter and you're suddenly there at that place. If you hadn't had the experiences along the way of getting to the place that you're describing there, you wouldn't really appreciate it. You wouldn't fully understand how beautiful, how wonderful it is.
Well, planet Earth is a beautiful planet of duality and contrast, and oftentimes we need to find out what it is that we really don't want in order to get to what we actually do want.
My father used to say, there's nothing wrong with the world, Andrew, it's just the people on it. He meant it as a joke, but I get the implication is, we have a very, very beautiful, they call it Gaia, don't they, the Mother Earth, and it's there, and it's sustained not just human life but many life forms over millennia, over millions of years, and it's an amazing place to be. I'm glad I kind of says yes. I'm so glad that I live here and not on the moon. There's no atmosphere. You couldn't have a party there, could you? So you've got to see the blessing around you, and it takes a while to refocus your eyes. I believe, as you do, that we are from love and that we go back to love, and the journey here is the journey. I think it's like the story that Jesus told of the prodigal son, that we go away from the father or the mother, and we go away, we make our own way in life, or at least we think that we're making our own way. We're actually listening to distracting forces, but then we come to our senses and we turn back, and it's not as straightforward and as simple as the prodigal son parable. It takes a while to get to desperation, and it takes a long while to get back, but we are returning to love. I think that's a beautiful title of somebody's book, Returning to Love.
Marianne Williamson,
correct.
When she encourages us she asks, who are you not to be brilliant, gorgeous, powerful, and all of that? Who are you not to be? In fact, you are a child of God.
We all are. We all are beautiful and amazing, and I want people to be able to look in the mirror, as Jack Canfield did. There's a tape program I was listening to of Jack Canfield, and Jack was saying he went to his wife one morning. He said, "I've got a crush." She said, "What do you mean?" He said, like when you were in school and you saw somebody that you really, really liked, and she's so lovely. Well, I've got a crush. She said, "Who is it?" And he said, "It's me." He said, "I was looking in the mirror this morning when I was shaving, and I really like me. I really love me, and I want to bring people to that place where they actually love who they are, and that includes all the shadow self as well. You've got to love."
There you go. Can you elaborate on that? Because there are a lot of people, a lot of us, we are all each on a journey that is ours to experience. And some of us had chosen to have a very dark journey. And we find it very hard to forgive ourselves. We find it very hard to let go of suffering and the addiction and the programming and all of that. What would you say to people who really cannot look in the mirror and say, "I love you and I forgive you and I've been a horrible person. How could I even love myself?" What do you say to these people?
I think that the shadow self does emerge. I disagree with anyone who says that they have full control of the shadow self, that there is always something that can come and trip you up, and that's to keep us humble, because we're not supposed to be so wonderful and amazing to everyone else. We're supposed to be wonderful and amazing to ourselves, and we must love the dark as well as the light. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned in recent couple of years, is that I'm not all perfect. No, it's okay to not be okay. That was my broadcast last night. on Wednesday Inspiration. It's okay to be not okay, but we have to become ourselves, the one that we were sent here to be. So if you have a checkered past, and we all have, some people's pasts are more checkered than others, but if you have darkness in your past, the beauty of coming to the light, as you said earlier, is when we shine the light, or when the light is shone in the dark places, guess what happens to the dark? It all disappears. It all goes away. When we become who we're supposed to be, when we are the person of love and light, that it's not that we become that person, we rediscover that person. That person was there all along. That's the actual nature. You wouldn't believe it watching some of these people, what they're doing on the world stage, but the nature of all human beings, in my view, is love and light. So you're just returning to who you really are, and the darkness, it's not something where you would look in the mirror and go, I'm not too sure whether I actually love this person or not. What's not to love? We are all beautiful. We're all love personified. I say that I am divinity personified. That we all are. I'm not just claiming that as my own title, but we're divinely. We came into being because we some call it God, some call it Creator, some call it the Force. If you're a Star Wars fan, so something brought us into being, and the intention was that we would show love to each other. That's it. That's the bottom line. And so the sooner you get to that place where you can look in the mirror and all the darkness has been dissipated from the past, maybe not from today, because that shadow self will come to make you humble again. But if the light has shone into that, if you've been still enough for long enough, you'll know that you are lovable.
It brings us back to that place of peace. It's maybe not always easy to love yourself. However, you can start with, we call it the 0 point, that just the stillness, this moment of just being. If you could just bring yourself to that neutral place for the moment and work from there, because if we were to liken it to a scale, you've got that 0 state, and then you've got all those feelings deriving from love, and you've got all this stuff deriving from darkness. And we are dual beings, and it's not linear. In some areas we might be all angels, and then the demon will pop its head in another area. So just to be aware and accept that is there, that could give you a sense of peace. And you're not that special, you are unique, but everybody has that, and everybody's going through that experience. And
you're unique, just like everybody else.
You need to keep choosing, right, what it is that you want to experience, isn't it? So
yeah
that's what we
it is. It's a matter of, no one else who's ever lived on planet Earth has ever been you. There's no one been anywhere near to you. You are totally unique, just like everyone else. It's a bit of a joke, that, but you are unique. And if you don't play full out, if you are not being the person that you were sent here to be, the one that you decided, the one that you chose to be before you were a twinkle in your dad's eye, if you don't be that person, we're all missing out. You're missing out big time, but every single person on the planet is missing out. So it's a matter of, I know you talk about sovereign power. We are, and you talk about co-creation. We are people who have, and I said I'm divinity personified like everyone else. We have a godlike quality with the small g, a godlike quality to create things. And if you're not playing your part, the bit that you were sent here to create or co-create, it's not happening. So it needs you to come to the light. They always say that in the movies, don't they? When somebody dies, go toward the light. You need to go to the light, and you need to start reflecting, like the moon reflects. We're talking about the new moon today. The moon reflects the sun, the light of the sun. We need to reflect the beauty of love, the beauty of light, that is something that is deep within this universe. This universe was based on love, and the balance. That there's not just. We used to believe that everything went round the earth. But there's the moon going around the earth going around the sun going around the Milky Way going around the universe. It's a cosmic dance. And you're supposed to put on your glad rags and put on your dancing shoes and get out there and dance. Regardless of what anybody else tells you not to dance, you're supposed to dance. Not because somebody's forced you to dance, but because that's an expression of who you are.
Amen, brother.
I got it, didn't I? I nailed it then.
So, what would you say? I get sometimes people that people might have an issue with talking about God, or all those. We give quotes sometimes from Jesus or religions. How is spirituality different than religion? How are we not a religion or a cult or making people do something? And you know what I mean? Like, how can we allow people? How can we present it in a way that people can relax and tell them that it's about you, not us telling you what to do?
I think that's the problem is when we become formulaic, when we have a formula by which you will achieve the light. You'll achieve this great feeling of contentment, of peace, of love within inside you. If we try to create a formula by which everyone will get there, to that place, that's misleading, that's misguiding, that's religious, that's what was the word I used before? Anyway, it doesn't matter. That as people become themselves, that's it. That's all you've got to do. You've got to remember who you were before everybody told you what you were supposed to be. So religion for me is about telling someone how to live. And I've got this book, and it's 2,000 years old, and it's full of wisdom. And I tend to go to the Bible and read the words of Jesus now. I've got a Bible with the words of Jesus in green. I've got another one with the words of Jesus in red. And I just read that, what did Jesus say? And then again, it might not be a proper dictation that the authors got anyway, but what's behind that? What is Jesus? What is Buddha? What is Krishna? What is any of these religious teachers? Jesus wasn't a Christian. He was of a Jewish background, and he didn't really fit. He stood out, and I believe that's true, that we all should stand out. Every single person should be known for being love, but in their own unique way. So I'm not looking to castigate religion. Religion was part of my journey, and it helped me to start thinking about the things that brought me to the point of when I was in church, I ended up being in a minority of one, which is actually correct. No one else saw the faith in the way that I did, and I could tell you the Bible. I knew the Bible. I could correct people who were, in my opinion, wrong. You've misunderstood it, because this is why this is what it says here, and that's what you're doing. That's why it. And eventually, I just walked away. I had a choice to make. I could stand up on a Sunday morning and decry the leadership, or I could walk away quietly, and I just walked away quietly. I don't want to be involved in an argument. I want to be involved with portraying love in whatever way I can. So if you're into religion, I'm not going to knock that, because that was part of my journey. That's how I got to be here. But I also would like to find out, if you're willing to sit down and talk with me about your faith, what is it about? I think it's faith that makes everything work here. And it doesn't have to be a religious faith. People, as as a young man, I decided that if I could walk to my car, you know how the paving slabs where they join, there's like a gap between the paving slabs. If I could get to my car from my place of work without standing on one of these gaps in between the paving slabs, that this girl would go out with me. And it worked. She did. And it's been probably the one big huge learning of my life, because we were engaged to be married, and she decided that she wanted to be with my best friend from the age of 4. So I lost my best friend, I lost my fiance, I lost all my plans, I lost my job because I was working for his father at the time, and my life had to start all over again. So be careful what you wish for, but faith works. Faith definitely works. You can put your faith in anything, and
you choose, huh?
You choose. Yeah, it is a choice. But if your faith, I have no. As a coach, we talk about beliefs, and we're not talking about religious beliefs. What do you believe is the way that the world is for you? And if that belief works, that's great. As a coach, I don't want to do anything with that belief. Just leave it as it is. But if the belief is actually dragging that person down, I want to disempower that belief and put a new belief in its place that will actually help that person become the love and the light that they need to be to negotiate the path to their full contribution to our planet.
It's interesting that you actually, I had to laugh, not out loud, but I was laughing in the moment you said the formula. And Cecile knows why. We actually, that was my experience. The Lovetarian way was my experience. It was my download. It's been downloading for over a year now in that particular shape and form. And with it, over the last 12 years, I have downloaded a lot of formulas, if you will, a lot of tools to help anybody stand in, and here's the word, as opposed to religion, in their sovereign power.
Correct.
To choose. So the formulas that we present in the Lovetarian way, the pillars that we guide people to be very helpful for them to lean on. They are not the religious pillars or formulas. The way I look at formulas or tools, it is to help you, me, each person by their free will to focus, because everything is consciousness, right? And we call ourselves guides through possibilities, infinite possibilities, and we are light guides, we are love guides, we are the Lovetarian way guides, and we could help you with the formulas and the tools that I had received without attachment, by the way, because the only thing we can really do our best to control is our own energy, or our thoughts, our feelings, our words, all of that. That's the only thing truly that we can do our best to control, because as you said, good luck. The shadows are always coming, and that's a great opportunity for us to stand in our power more and more and more. So to clarify, that's not the formulas you're talking about. You're talking about the dogma, right? The dogma and
yes, yeah.
It's just a cage. Maybe elaborate a little bit.
and there was something called the Spanish Inquisition.
There you go.
Many years ago.
That's Cecile, yes, when we were burned as witches in previous lifetimes. Yes.
Whatever you said, if it didn't fit in with the Roman Catholic Church, and that's a misnomer. The Roman Catholic means universal. We're all for the oneness, aren't we? But you can't be Roman and universal. Which one are you? Are you Roman Church, or are you the Catholic Church? Are you the universal church? Do you believe in everything being one? And so you've got to, because what the formula does, the dogma, it takes away the responsibility of the individual.
There you go.
They're just going, oh, well, I just do what this nice priest or this minister or this vicar or the pastor, what he says, and don't question it, and that's me done. I'm okay. But there's no responsibility with dogma. The dogma is just making you be something that you were never intended to be.
So guess what? One of the first things I have downloaded was it's resounding voice, resounding energy download, if you will. Take 100% responsibility for your life.
Yeah.
That is the pillar one of the Lovetarian way, right? It's like society had programmed us into, what the priests say, what the lawyers say, what the presidents say. What about your heart? What does that say? How does that guide you? Is like, am I going to follow the crowd, or am I going to follow what is in me, right?
Be a leader in your own life.
Exactly. And there are consequences to everything.
No, be the leader in your own life.
There you go.
Not a leader, the leader.
Andrew, do you want to address that question? Do you see it?
Sorry, I'm too busy playing with words here. What was the question?
Somebody asks, what ways do you change your faith? What ways do you change your faith? Could you give us some examples? It sometimes needs to be more than belief.
I think that my beliefs are based on my experience of life rather than somebody else's experience of life. So I find through trial and error, through dark and light, I find what works and what doesn't. And then I go towards that which works for me. And just because it works for me doesn't mean it'll work for everyone else. It's just something that's part of my journey. And when I do share, and I do, as you can imagine,
yes, you do.
When I do share my journey, I always say before or after that, I'm not making this like an instruction to you. I'm just saying this is what works for me. Maybe you would like to try that. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then find something that does work for you. So for me, it's about not necessarily losing my religion. I think that they say, don't they, that the Roman Catholic Church says, give us a child till they're 7 and they're ours for life. You set people on a pathway, and I still recognize the Methodist in me. I was a Methodist lay preacher for a short time. My dad did it for many years, but I am still aware of that, and I quote the Bible as a wisdom book, not as a you must believe everything. I used to believe that it was the inerrant word of God. It was God breathed. If the scriptures were actually from the mouth of God, and now I just see it as a collection of writings of people who were inspired of God, and there's wisdom there, and you should pay attention to it, but no more so than any other faith book. I spent a couple of years writing a poem on every verse of the Tao Te Ching, and that was quite an experience for me, because I'm set in my Christian upbringing ways, and it was challenging me that here is a philosophy, a belief system that was written 600 years before Jesus, and maybe that's where he got a lot of his wisdom from. Sorry if you didn't, Jesus, but it certainly seemed like that to me. Wisdom is wisdom, isn't it? It doesn't have to come from any particular place. I think there's a story in the Bible about Balaam's ass, that the donkey spoke to the word of God to this prophet. So if God could use a donkey to speak his word, he can use you and me.
Yeah. Well, we, as I said to you earlier, we guide, because we can call ourselves teachers. Okay, at the end of the day, I prefer the word guide, because there is a field of consciousness that we are also. Pillar 2 of the Lovetarian way is we are one. Okay, we are one. There's this field the mother, the creator, the God, the source, the force, whatever word. We're not attached to labels, and we believe that that field connects us all. We are in that soup of that beautiful energy, and as guides, we navigate in that field of knowledge and wisdom, and it's wisdom that is multidimensional, that goes through time and space and thousands of years. And you give some examples. Yes, Jesus, there is Tao Te Ching, there was a Mohammed at one point, there was the Buddha, there were many, many, many beautiful prophets, and some of them we don't even have names of. I am privileged to be actually have chosen to initiate in the modern mystery school with the Sophia Code. That I encourage you to buy the Sophia Code as well. And that is a sacred text for modern society, which is non-denominational. And the whole purpose of the Sophia Code is to bring you back to the place of your sovereign will. Every being in the universe has the will to choose what is it that you want to align with those. Do you want to align with the dogma? Do you want to have the freedom? Do you want to suffer? Do you want to be at peace? It's like, it's all the choices that we have. And as guides in the Lovetarian way, we say, okay, first of all, feel it in your heart. Let your body, let your heart guide you. Let it align. All your energies need to be aligned, because we had a brief discussion with you, Andrew, that yes, a person can be all emotion, so aka heart driven, or they can be all mind, fiery, confused, walking all over the place, ego driven. But you can also have the alignment. If you surrender the mind in service of your heart, you can create the most amazing magical life for yourself, the world, Mother Earth,
whatever you magic.
Exactly, that's magic. What is magic for you? We use the word a lot, and we actually use it with a K, because for us it's the transformation from within. It's that, that actually is, there's a spark, right? There's a light. We are stars, and then out of that star comes the butterfly that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it transforms. That's the magic for us. That's the magic of inner transformation, and you can then spread your wings in your full glory of your light and potential, right? What is magic for you?
Magic, real magic is something that you can miss if you don't pay attention. There's beauty in every moment. There really is. And it's that phrase, isn't it? Stay still enough, long enough. If you can, I know Eckhart Tolle just sat there on a bench in Hyde Park for a year, and the whole thing opened up to him, probably a bit like you're describing with your download, it just, he was still, he probably looked like a tramp.
He wanted to kill himself, right? You know that, right? He wanted to commit suicide, and then he received this grace.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, but the guy himself, he said, one of his talks, he says, well, there's a gathered assembly, there's probably a couple of hundred people there, and he just says, well, now I'm supposed to say something to you, but I've got nothing to say. And everybody laughs, we have to listen. I think, for me, because I'm a very passionate person, and you're a fiery person, it's very difficult just to listen. And I think the magic is there. Every single person that you meet, there's something very magical about them, but they haven't seen it, and nobody's told them about it, so they don't feel very magical. But when the coach comes alongside and listens, really listens, and does the probing questions like Natalia's been doing today, when that magic, that's when the magic appears to them. So, the two ears nearest to their mouth, it's their own. So when they speak it, they hear it, and the magic becomes easily recognizable by them. They didn't actually see it before, but now they see it. But as for big magic with a K, that's what we want to see. We want to see, I believe Wayne Dyer said that he wanted the Shift movie that he made to be seen by pi. I said, is that a tiger? No, 3.142. He wanted 3.142% of the world population to see his movie because he believed that that would be the tipping point. And I see what the Lovetarian way is doing is it's bringing us closer to that tipping point where the real magic with a K can come out and be seen, not just by us, because we see it, don't we? We haven't got a problem. Well, most days people like us don't have a problem seeing the magic with the K, but for the whole world to see that, for the population of planet Earth, the human population, probably the animals know all about it. But yeah, if we were to do that, to get to pi, then 3.142% of people understanding what we're talking about, then it happens. You know, the transformation, not just of the individual, but of the human species. It happens at that point. So Lovetarian way, keep doing what you're doing, you know, and please involve me if you can, you know.
But you know, funny that you say that, because in one of our first classes we talk about the Maharishi Effect, where they actually use the scientific devices to check how many people would need to meditate at the same time at the intention. And it was very, at that time it was just a little bit over 8,000 people where the changes in the world were really measurable. So what is that? That is so little. If we can get few thousands of people focused on the intention of this beautiful new world that we are all building and contributing to right now. I mean, it's happening all over the world. We're one of the containers. The work you do, we do. There's millions of people who are already doing the work, and we have moved past that point of the doom, in my opinion, you know, of going down. We're not going down. We're only going up, I believe. What do you
I'm concerned here, Natalia. Cecile's sat there smiling, and she's obviously pleased with what we're talking about.
Oh, I'll tell you,
100%.
She hasn't said anything. Please, Cecile,
No,
we'll be quiet. You say something.
Cecile has a role that is different to ours.
Yeah, and I'm always observing and enjoying and listening. Yes, and taking everything in. So I'm very grateful for that, just like the viewers.
Yeah, so how are the viewers seeing this conversation, Cecile, in your opinion?
In my opinion, like, people get consciously aware. What we are talking about in the Lovetarian way, what you're talking about in your, for example, in the group, and it's everybody is on their own level, on their own frequency. So either they will resonate with what we're saying or what somebody else is saying, what you were saying. And I think it's so beautiful that we're all combining each other's love to resonate in so many frequencies that we can inspire
and hear this, and it will be of benefit to them, because I'm having a ball.
Can you give me your the best website for people to reach you? I'll put it on the screen. The best place where people can go to get in touch with you.
Yeah, let me get that up. So I'm in the middle of moving from one admin of what I'm doing to another. So I only just set this up yesterday, but that's my mailing list. So if you go there, you'll get a 4-part report that I've written, and it will give you access to the 20 top tips, you know, from reading everything that I've read, from hearing everything that I've read, from working with people, what are the 20 best recipes. And it's not a dogma. It's not a dogma, but the kind of ways in which you can
Andrew,
and if you want to write to me, let me just give you my email address.
I think Andrew, this one is a little complicated. Can you simplify? Can you give something that people can actually make a quick note or go to Facebook? Something simple.
Okay, so that one there is, if you want to send me an email, send it there. But the quickest and simplest way to get to me is...
Yeah, give that the quickest and the simplest. Let's make it easy for the peeps. Okay, great. Oh yeah, that's very simple. Thank you. I'm going to put this up so it can be there for the remainder of our chat. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I sent it back to you for whatever reason. That's not what I do. Yeah, get in touch with Andrew.
I will. I keep in touch with myself. That way I'll be okay.
Yeah.
You've got to be grounded in yourself. That's a very good thing to do.
Do you have your book with you?
It's not yet published. I did send you a pre-published edition. It's called Love.
Do you have something that you can read?
Oh yeah, okay.
Read something to our readers. Choose something that would really just give them that extra light beam for the meditation we're going to go into in a moment. I'm being summoned. Cecile, chat a little bit. Yeah, Andrew was doing his best to encourage you to speak a little bit. Andrew doesn't know that Cecile is the light holder and the breath holder and the presence holder, but I think you need to speak a little bit now. I'm going to be right back. You do that. Cecile, sing. You have a beautiful singing voice.
Well, at the moment, I'm always very shy to sing in public.
Well, now's your chance.
Yeah, that's something I'm working on. Yes, I wanted to ask you a question.
Right. Okay.
What's the Facebook group called so people can?
So yeah, it's facebook.com/inspiration to brighten your day, but it's called Be Inspired, and it's Be Inspired with an exclamation mark, because it's not a request, it's a command. You must be inspired, because if you're not, you're in a really difficult place in your life, where you can't face the day. If you don't have inspiration within you, then that you're on a hiding for nothing. My South African friend John, he said, you're on a cruising for a bruising. So you need to be inspired. So yeah, it's facebook.com/inspiration to brighten your day. But if you just put be inspired with the exclamation mark, Facebook should give you the group's got, I think, 15,900 members, and it was started in 2012 by myself. And I just invited all my Facebook friends to it to begin with, but then it sort of took on a life of its own. So I think it's the greatest achievement to have brought that many people together, who, even though they might not be like the Lovetarian group, which is interactive as much as I'd like it to be, it is something that can actually people. I was preaching in the street one day.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like you do. I was on a mission with my college, my Bible school, and we've taken it in turns to speak at the market cross. So we're projecting over the traffic. The traffic's coming towards us and splitting left and right at the market cross. And then we'd go out and hand out leaflets. And one lady's walking by. She's got her head bowed like that. She's got two heavy shopping bags. She's walking along. I'm trying to give her a leaflet to explain what we're talking about. And I said, what do you think to what's being said? And she just carried on walking with her head down. I'm listening. A lot of the time we don't realize that people are listening, that people are paying attention to what we're saying and doing. And it's always stuck in my mind, I'm listening. So there's all these people in this group, Be Inspired, that are listening. And
but Andrew, this is also about doing the work of your heart and doing the work you want to do without attachment of specific result, and that gives you joy, doesn't it?
I've got a poem here. I know we're wanting to move into the meditation. I've got a poem here called The Imagination's Kiss.
Oh, great. Then read it.
I ask that you come with me into the secret world within, where you and I can contemplate and our dreams can soon begin. It is in our imagination we're connected to the divine, the secret world of spirit, which is yours and it is mine. We are all creators with the power that we need to manifest our needs met and to fill full our lives complete. For our ingenuity and all things that exist within the human world begins with the imagination's kiss.
Wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It just emerged there. I just went to my book and I just opened it randomly, and that's what came up.
So I'm gonna ask you later to post that for me in a message. So I'm going to share that as well. So how about we just close our eyes, take some deep breaths, and with that beautiful introduction, we're going to focus on the heaven on earth that we are all co-creating. How about that? Does that sound good?
Wonderful.
Take
That's
some
great.
deep breaths, guys. Even breaths. In on 5 and out on 5. Let's do it for a few breaths. Just keep breathing evenly. In and out. Get comfortable. Want you to feel that there is beautiful grass under your feet, or maybe it's a sand. Go to a place where you would really feel comfortable and relax, and keep breathing. Imagine that the sun is shining on your face and you're warmed by it, and you feel just so beautifully relaxed. And keep breathing. Now I want you to imagine that you're in a place that your heart tells you really, really, really wants to be. It needs to come from your heart. What is it for you? It's the place where you can be yourself. It's the place where you have the permission to be the absolute and total, most amazing, beautiful butterfly in full bloom. Just keep visualizing that. And keep breathing. What are you doing? Who are you with? How does that feel? Just bask in that sensation. Keep breathing. I can see the light that is radiating from you. I can see the light that radiates from every single person that is doing that right now. And it extends millions of miles through time and space. And it creates beautiful vortex of love and light for us all. The more of us that shine, the more people get the permission to shine. So I would really, really, really love if you could just touch your heart now, like literally put your hands on your heart now. See yourself as that beautiful butterfly, living the life that you truly want, feeling the feelings that you want to feel, being light, being at peace, playing the music of your unique heart, being free, liberated from pain and suffering, And just feeling magically, amazingly beautiful. Just stay in that place and keep shining. And see others doing the same. See how people around you are smiling more. They radiate that love back to you. And the whole planet starts beaming with more and more light. Your neighbors, your family. And it's just a beautiful place to live. And remember now, when you open your eyes, that this is not just imagination. It is a preview of what is coming to you now. Give thanks for those blessings already on their way to you now. Choose to believe that it is possible for you. And deeply understand that you can actually align with those energies. If you can imagine it, if you can conceive it, you truly can create it in the here and now. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Amen. By the power of 3, perfect divine Trinity, I seal it with it now, and so it is. Out of it. Let's bring it and embody this now, in the here and now. How about that?
Beautiful.
Feet on the ground, boots on the ground. Let's get to work, eh? And we can work with Andrew. You can come and work with our workshops. You can go and find any light worker that is telling you to be the best, amazing person that you want to be, right?
You already are.
That's right. So you actually are remembering.
Yeah.
You are remembering because, we use the word synonyms, you're becoming and this and that. But in fact, no, you're coming back home.
Yeah.
And you've never left, have you? You just changed form, have you?
Yeah. We just...
yeah, sorry.
We're here to be a blessing to each other. And if you can't be a blessing to other people, shut up. My mum says, if you haven't got anything good my mum said, if you haven't got anything good to say, shut up.
That's right. It's like, honestly, who said that? If you're ever going to look down on another person, don't. Don't.
The only time to look down is when you're lifting someone up.
Yeah, exactly. But the ego, right? Ego with its need of separation. It's me, it's them. It's the need of approval. It's the inferiority. It's the superiority. Why? Boring. It's the new earth now, people. Come on.
It's a joke, really.
Yes.
The ego is a joke because we're all one.
And that is the funniest thing of it all, right? Because people
it's sad, but it's funny as well.
Yeah, we are using laughter, we're using laughter a lot in the academy and our workshops, because if you can laugh, you're already increasing your vibration. Mm-hmm. And if you can introduce laughter therapy or laughter in general into any situation, you're diffusing the emotional load, you're diffusing the darkness. You can't be depressed and laugh. I mean, honestly, you can't. If you truly laugh from your heart, it will be very, very challenging to be depressed and down. Your whole posture will change. Everything will change.
In secondary school, I was picked on. I was bullied. I'm 5'4", well, probably 5'3" now,
really?
and carrying excess pounds. And they would. One guy called me Greaser Smith. I said, why do you call me Greaser Smith? I don't wear Brill cream, to grease up my hair. No, you're always greasing around the teachers. They'll be putting you in a cage at the back of the classroom, teacher's pet. So what I would do is I would always, just an automatic thing, just bring humor out of the situation, just make everyone there laugh.
Yeah.
Who's more cool, the bully or the comedian? I'm the comedian. you best stick with me, because you'll be smiling with him around. You'll be going, oh, but with me, you'll be laughing and you'll be feeling good. If you laugh, you feel great, don't you?
Exactly. So let's diffuse this delusion once and for all. We are one. That does not mean we're not promoting socialism and capitalism. I mean, all that stuff. It's about uniqueness, the uniqueness that you really came here to embody. Therefore, there no need to be separation or competition. We can all thrive. We can all thrive. So may we all thrive and prosper, shall we?
And be a blessing to each other. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. I love you all, guys. And Andrew, we're in touch. Thank you so much for coming. We'll post this with your links and stuff. All right.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye.
See you later, alligators.
Bye.
Bye.